How's your mom and them? I don't know what time is it. What time is it? It's like 6-ish. Anyway, I thought I'd pop on. I have been super sick the last several days. Finally was zapped by this tummy bug we've had going around. Let me get my hair bow off my shirt. Finally got caught by the tummy bug that was going around. And so I've had a few not so happy days. And then my dryer tore up, and the dryer fix it guy, because Dave and I, it was an old dryer, so we knew we needed to place the heating element just on the off chance it was the heating element. The thermostat in the heating element was okay, but when it comes to the thermostats and all the things on those dryers, that's where my knowledge stops, pretty much with David's too. And so we just set it aside and said, let's just call the repair guy. The repair guy came out today, tested all the thermostats. They were all good. We decided to keep the heating element and that we put in. It was old and even anyway. Must be the switch. Everything else is working. The motor's working because it's turning, it's doing everything. And David almost was like, if you want to bring us another one, out of their like scratch and dent. He's like, if you want to bring us another one, we'll just buy another cheap one. And I was like, no. The cheap ones they have are turned in from people that have leased or rented or moved or swapped, one they've had for a little while in and got a new one. I said, we've already put a new heating element in this one and checked all the thermostats. We know the motor is still going good. I said, if we replace this switch, I said, then the only thing that's not new on this turd is, I'm crocheting, is the motor. And I said, it's highly unlikely it's going to go out because we've had it and it's been maintained. And I said, I'd rather just continue to put the parts in this one and know what I've got than get another one and play Russian roulette with another freaking dryer. So they've got to order the part, and he's going to have to come back Friday or Saturday. Do you know how much this goddamn part and the call is? Like $200. We've already put $100 into it between going to the hardware store and getting the heating element. Y'all, if it wasn't goddamn winter and so nasty on this mountain, I'd be drying my clothes on the lawn again. And I tried, but it's just a goddamn nasty and winter on this mountain. I couldn't get it done. Hello, Oliver. Is that Louie? I'm about blind. You think I'd remember my glasses? We've had a heck of a winter here in the plateau, and we've got snow creeping up onto Nashville as I'm looking at the radar. And pretty soon it'll be on in here in the stupid Cumberland Plateau, because that's the way it rolls around here. And we're supposed to get around 6 inches of snow, I think. I'm kind of over winter. I'm ready to move. I told my daughter that lives in southern Georgia, I said, just move. I'm going to move in with you. Just when I show up, just act surprised. 2. Hang on, I got to crochet for a minute. Let everybody file in. 3. This is the last 4. This is the last leg on the sea turtle, and then I can make a shell. I've already made one. And I'm using blanket yarn, and oh my gosh, it makes me want to squall. I mean, it's great for the babies. They love it. It's soft, and they can, pack it around and love on it. But Lord, it's a pain in the butt to crochet. Oh my gosh, it's a pain in the... So if y'all haven't ever crocheted with blanket yarn, it's frustrating. It'll make you want to cuss. I prefer the smaller yarns or the wool yarns. Let me get to 10. Hang on, I'll shut up. Or I'll stop and so I can talk. 10. Okay, I'm just starting this one. But here is my other turtle's head. And then I've got his flappers. And so I'm doing another turtle because I've not felt good, so I'm sitting still a lot. And so I made a turtle. This is the turtle I made yesterday. Isn't it precious? I like this pattern a lot better. That dinosaur was just a crude play toy. I didn't like it at all. I mean, I did the pattern, but I just thought that looked so juvenile. So I did this one. It's cute. It's even got a little tiny little tail. Look. That's the cutest little thing I've ever seen. So I made this one. And now I'm going to make another one because I wanted to make one, well, my daughter had twins. So if I make one of something, I got to make two. I'm doing good on this crochet stuff. I mean, I used to do granny squares with Mom, but I'm enjoying this. It's giving me something to sit still. I sit here and watch the fire, just kind of zone out and crochet. I've not felt good the last few days. My nurse was by today to check on me. I got sick. I got this stomach bug going around, which put me into a flare, which meant that my belly just swelled so bad. It's just now starting to go down. And when I'm talking about, I'm talking like 9 pounds of swelling. If y'all don't know, I have that disorder that when something goes wrong, or if I happen to, injure myself, even just paper cut myself, it will swell uncontrollably. And so when I got the stomach bug, my bowels went whew. And I'm starting, the weight and the swelling starting to go down now, the fluid, and I'm feeling a little bit better. I've been so sick, y'all. I've been so sick. Hey, Ashley, find a pattern and I'll try to do one. I'm bored. I just wanted to come on and somebody just called me baby girl. Do you see these jaws? These jaws don't belong to no baby girl. This is a grandma up in here. I'm sitting here crocheting. You need to check yourself. You calling some old lady baby girl. I feel sorry for you. Oh, Lord. I'm feeling just saucy enough to say something about that. 11. I'm going to bite my tongue. 11. 12. See, crochet is good for you. You made me shut up. You're being deported. Thank you for sharing that. 13. Why do people think you're supposed to feel sorry for them when they say crap like that? It's like, I'm a retired parole officer. If you broke the law, I pretty much think you deserve the book thrown at you. I have no idea why people come on my page and think I'm going to be sorry for them. I have no idea. $14. And this is the last foot. So then I'll get the shell done. I'm going to make the shell. I think I'm going to make the shell the same right here because this is a thicker wool. I'll just have to double the pattern to make the shell bigger for the blanket yarn. But that's okay. That's okay. I got nothing but time. And with this winter storm warning coming through, I got nothing but time. We're supposed to get 6 inches, Ashley. I just don't know about the snow. I'm so over winter. This has been the winter from Hades. David worked last week, bupkis this week because of the weather and the flooding in Kentucky. Dryer just broke down. That's, been a couple $100 to fix. Can't go without a dryer because in this weather, your long johns ain't going to dry outside, and your Carhartt your bibs sure ain't going to. So I have strategically had stuff over air vents and by the stove, although I did order one of those retractable, I say order, I had Temu credit, and I got one of those retractable laundry lines that you can put on a 2x4 on your wall. You anchor it to 2x4, you anchor the other side to 2x4, and when you need it, you pull it out and then tighten it up, and it holds like 60 pounds. I got one that had 2 lines on it. I ain't playing this game again. No, thank you. But in its defense, I rarely ever have anything break down. It just seems like right now when it rains, it pours. So this winter's been a struggle. David left his job in 9 years to take this job. Oh, you're gonna have be outside, have more time. Bullcrap. Better pay. Bullcrap. Better hours. Bullcrap. Apparently, this man. I'm convinced he's an idiot. I'm convinced the man that runs the show is an idiot. Because he didn't work Monday. Monday was not a bad day. And then he goes, well, we may work Tuesday. So the day it's supposed to be possibly kind of rainy, nasty, icy, and a winter storm's moving in, you want to go and possibly strand a crew 2.5 hours from, okay, why didn't we work Monday? Couldn't answer that. Don't ask questions. Convince the man's an idiot. And then he's like, well, no work for the rest of the week. Well, okay, we know there's a storm fixing to hit, but what if they get it wrong? Are you going to lay us off? No, I'm not going to lay you off. We might work the rest of the week. Well, you just told me we're not working the rest of the week. Unemployment has kicked every one of the crew members out. Nobody's got a penny of unemployment. Every one of the crew members are getting kicked out. The first time they filed, then there was paperwork submitted by the employer that screwed up their first claim. We've gone through 4 waiting weeks and something always goes wrong, or they get thrown out, or they say something was not completed correctly, and David won't hand me the phone and let me speak in his behalf because I will cuss somebody out. I was a state worker. I know that you can go back and you can have sign off. I know there are back doors to every system. I worked in Thomas for years. There are back doors to every system. You can go back and correct your mistakes. You can augment the system. You can correct the system. You can do it manually. You're just too lazy to do it. So David won't hand me the phone. But he's thinking seriously about going back to his old job. He was there for 9 years, and he's like, this just hasn't worked out. That man has got to work or he ain't happy. And we just blown through savings because in the middle of all this winter storm, all the damage we've had to repair, vehicles we've had to repair, then it's a dryer, groceries we've had to buy. He ain't working. Then we had, he got so busy last fall that we had to send a bunch of fur off because he couldn't get it all done himself with hours he's working. We had to pay for a butt ton of fur to come back. It's freaking expensive. And thankfully, while he's got his time off, he's been fleshing and starting the process. So he will have everything probably done on his own this year where he's had time. But this one little man that can't make any decisions. Don't say it, Elizabeth. Don't say it. Has decimated probably 7 or 8 families that he employs. And all the guys are trying to hang in there because they took a leap of faith on this job. And that man don't care. That man don't care. That man does not care. He doesn't care that nobody's... Hell, we've only had 2 paychecks in 8 weeks. But he don't care. He got a government contract. He's fine. Hey, send Elon down here to rifle through his pockets. I'm about sick of this man. That's where I would do it myself. I can get a diversion. I ain't never been in trouble. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. No, all that's good. I clean mine out regularly. I'm one of those OCD people that cleans everything out. And we really thought it was one of the other 6 thermostats, but it's not. The guy came out and tested them all today, and he said it's your switch. He even tried to file the edges when they, they catch sometimes, and that didn't work. He said it's the switch. He said we're just going to replace it. I was like, fine. Got to be done. We live out in the boondocks. Do we have a laundromat anymore? We might have one. I was like, screw it. When it stops snowing, I'll just load up a laundry basket and go to mom and dad's and visit for the day. Do laundry. It's been a depressing winter. My dog died the day after Christmas. It just couldn't get any better after that, could it? Oh my gosh, Ashley. What, Ashley? Oh, I'd be getting me an attorney and I'd be saying, I'm sorry. David through that, I'm thinking they'll probably just take him back to his old job because he was called an essential worker. They shut the factory down, but him and like 2 other people, they kept orders going. They kept because the owner said, if we shut the doors to this factory, we'll never open it back up. Knowing how many families depended on that, David and these other couple people were like, hey, we'll keep it going. So he worked every day during the, and life became much more hectic, but he did it. There was a guy that got in trouble and got charges for sexual assault that worked there. They got all the women that worked there together, and they said, okay, who would you feel safe, being the basically the manager of your shift or reporting your issues to? They was like, David. Of course, if you know my husband, you know why the women would pick him. He's a Boy Scout. He's just a good guy. And so he had to take on a buttload of stress to take care of that. They didn't give a crap. They didn't give him a raise or nothing for that. And he would rather be outside, but this man, it's like he wakes up and he has to ask the gods or the caterpillar hanging on a limb outside, should we work today? It's like he can't watch the weather and sketch out a plan of action and give the guys a plausible, schedule. He just, I don't know how he wipes his own hind end right now. I really think he's just that much of an idiot. If you ever watch this, I think you're an idiot. I think you have starved out about 7 families because you're too stupid to watch the news and the weather. If you got a problem with that, come to my door. He doesn't care. He's sitting on that government contract money, whether anybody's working or not. He does not care. He does not have a care in the world. And David has really been pushing it, and he's learning the ads on Etsy. He's learning to edit. He forgot a space in something the other day, but he's doing great. I'm nitpicky, but he's doing great. And we've had a bobcat sale. There are 3 bobcats left, by the way. One's a big boy that's like 46, 47 inches long. So if you haven't gone to David's Etsy shop, it's Hillbilly Heart Decor. Go. There's raccoons and beaver and a raccoon pocketbook. There's powder horns, vintage, if not antique powder horns. The bobcats, some jewelry I made, some baculum, I haven't put my baculum jewelry on there. Hang on. There's buffalo tooth necklaces. I've got my raccoon jaw necklace. I give it to Dave to sell. A little bit of everything on there. Even some Christmas ornaments that I thought people might want to hoard for next year. I put some of those on there. So go give the Etsy shop a glance. The people in the hills, we've got enough deer and hog and bear put up from hunting seasons, and I can buy a bag of taters. I ain't gonna say I can buy eggs. I'll go down to Dad's and rob his chickens. But, we'll somehow get through. But it's, paying bills. And we don't have that many bills, y'all. We are so simple. But it seems like everything has hit this winter. Everything has hit this winter. A dog even died. I mean, it's like a country song. This winter's been a country song. And David is so stressed out because, if it had been spring, summer, or fall, you could head to the woods and dig roots. There's not a lot you can do with the ground frozen and snow on. And it's just been a bad time. So he's just been pushing his fur a lot and trying to take in some fleshing work, some pre-taxidermy work. And about all you can do, I'm going to whine about it. I'm going to whine about it because I am really irritated with this winter. I'm really irritated with this employer. I'm really irritated. But we'll get through it. And I think the only reason a lot of the other workers are doing okay is they've run and asked for every benefit they could get, especially when unemployment started doing its little hijinks program. They went and got food stamps. Well, David is not built that way. He's just not built that way. He's just going to muscle down and get through this. And I'm like, okay. This is why we hunt and why we can and why we do all that we do. I mean, I've got enough corn, taters, bear, hog, and deer. I'm good. Might not be the healthiest, but I can make ends meet. But it's just horrific at how this man is like, and people said, they were like, well, we're going to have to find another job. How dare you dump me in the middle of winter? Dude, you're eating high on the hog and I'm eating the belly fat. Now shut your mouth. But people don't think about other people anymore. So the electric bills have been horrible this winter. Now we have a tiny home and I winterize the crap out of it. So we're doing better than most. A lot of people's have like quadrupled. Ours went up about $60, $70. Because we've had like 0 and below here for multiple weeks. But some people's has quadrupled. And I'm like, do you not know how to plastic a window and cover your door? And block the holes and look for leaks. And you know, even when we had to pull the dryer out, I was stuffing a towel around that dryer vent just as quick as anybody because the air, it's cold. So it's been a winter. It's been a winter. Not too happy with it. On the off message, Dad brought me this lift chair. Listen to this. He wanted a new cat napper, and he wanted a reason to buy a new cat napper. Dad gets some recliner buying moods, if you know my father. He brought me this lift chair for days when I have bad flares. He's like, I don't like it anymore. I'm gonna get me a cat napper. So he showed up, backed his truck up, and here we went. Here it is. Watch this. My legs are going up. Hang on. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Ow. Ow. Bye. I'll see y'all in a bit. Bye. Oh my god, I'm gonna get stuck in this thing. It's nice. Like if my legs have another rough spell or something, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. It's more amusing than anything right now. And when I sit in it, I'm like, wait, am I down the mountain or oh wait, I'm here. So it's funny to have it here because it's like, wait, which house am I in? Because y'all know I'm a nomad now. It's been where I had the stomach bug and it's been this winter weather's coming in. I'm just like, I'm going to sit tight because I'm not going to take something down on my mom and dad. Lord have mercy, no. Now, how do I get up? Oh, there we go. I still ain't got all the glitches figured out, y'all. So if you want to know what's for dinner, it was a crock pot meal. Ooh, here I go. Bye. Bye. Watch this thing tear up now. I have to fix it. I made a crock pot meal and just put veggies, taters, and cauliflower, and carrots, and broccoli, and onions. Season the heck out of it. Put a little cream in it to thicken it. Put a chicken bouillon cube in there, and put a chicken-like creature in there. We'll just say that. Did you know that certain things that are supposed to be on hunting preserves, when they leave the hunting preserve land by law, they are supposed to be terminated? We helped in that. So that's where dinner came from. That's all I'm going to say about that. The hunting guy, the game warden, thought it was hilarious. So that's what was in my crock pot. It was good. It was yummy. It was good. There's a little bit of leftovers. I'm going to leave it. David is taking advantage of things moving before the storm, and he's going out trying to eradicate more hogs. I will say that the farm that he's been trying to work on, the guy that owns the farm, has been super helpful. And he's a really nice guy. Super sweet man. And so he knows that David's been having a tight spot. So he's just a really nice guy. And so he's like, hey, I need you down here. Here's gas money. Here's the, it's really helpful. He's a really sweet guy. He knows how much David is doing for that land and stuff. So, and he was like, you do all this just for the fur? He's like, but I need you down here. And he's like, I want to make sure you are still coming. And he's like, you can use your days off. He's like, so here's you some gas money. Here, and I was like, thank you. Very nice man. And I told y'all that the game warden now gave them the permit because he was like, this has got to be fixed. The predators here have got to be gotten into check. The hogs have got to be eradicated. The hogs are doing some massive damage this winter. So that's where David is right now. And of course, with the hogs, we're feeding families that can't hunt on their own. So the hogs go to the meat processing. If they've got good meat, they go to the meat processor, and the meat processor processes them. And people on the list that want meat but can't hunt, he just goes down the list, calls them, they pay for the processing fee and pick up their meat. Now, you can't get a full hog for a processing fee when you go to the grocery. So it's been super helpful to a lot of families. And it's just a nice thing that we normally do here in the sticks anyway. Heck, the cops, even when somebody hits a deer in the winter, will say, go down the tree. And it's the list of names for whoever wants roadkill deer. We've been like that around here forever. I don't know. Gosh, as long as I can remember. Kentucky is still super swamped. The area that David worked in could have been worked in. It wasn't hit that bad, but some parts of it were absolutely decimated. I think they've had 8 or so people pass away due to floodwaters. It rained here, I think, 6 inches, right at 6 inches. Our front yard, I'm going to buy ducks for my front yard. I can't get, we've got a drain. I can't get the darn thing to drain. Something's always stopping it up, or it rains too fast and the drain needs to be bigger. And I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to buy ducks for the front yard. I'm just going to buy ducks because at least they'll be pretty then. The yard stays flooded enough. We just need ducks. So let me get, I'm just chatting away. Oh, we got trolls in here. Oh, it's lovely. We got trolls. Hi, trolls. You have a butt warmer in yours? I don't have a butt warmer in mine. Dang it now. No, I don't have a butt warmer. It does have where you can fix the top of the neck, though, and that helps a lot with my shoulders. Darn it. I didn't know they made those. Oh, now I got gypped. Howdy, everybody that's coming in and acting nice. Oh, you got a new crossbow? We've got an Excalibur crossbow. Bet that thing's nice. There's a video, gosh, back a summer or so ago of me shooting it the first time. I had literally the muscles for one shot because I don't have the muscles I used to have. It's heavy or not know what. I have corrected a little bit, and I did actually bear hunt with it this year and did pretty good, but I ain't going to be hunting a lot because my body does not like me. But I got a couple of days of blind hunting and got charged by Mama Bear. It's lovely. I was watching her and her babies just mill around, the babies play, and then she sended me, and here she came. I thought, oh, crap. There's a video of me shooting it. I had like enough muscle a couple summers ago for one shot, and my husband was shooting, he was pulling it. And I said, it's not off, you're pulling it. And he said, prove it. Well, I used to always bore shot the weapons in. I said, okay, but I've only got enough muscle for one shot. Buddy, I bullseye. I mean, he had to go pull it out of the thing because I couldn't pull it out of the target. That's how weak I was that day. And I had a bullseye, and I told him to do the walk of shame. So that thing shoots really nice. But I always had a compound bow, but I would always have it like pegged out. Like I would go to the sportsman shop and I would put it on the thing to stretch it, see where it was, because I'd want it cranked on up, and he'd be like, honey, you're tapped out. And I'd be like, dang it. I'm not that person anymore. Now I'm domesticated. But basically anything there's a season for, my husband hunts. I used to hunt. There's a piece of property he's working on trying to get back into healthy parameters. And finally, the game warden came and took assessment of it for TWRA, and they were like, yeah, we've got to get the hogs and some other crap off this property. He's like, here. Guess they gave him permits to do, see, starting here soon, or did it just start? Anyway, thermal hunts are going to be different. They're not going to be allowed all year for hogs. But he came up and give them like a whole year permit. Have at it. And we're hoping that makes a big difference on this land. We're hoping. It's starting to shift, but the hogs this winter have been really bad, and we didn't want to lose the ground we'd gained. I say we like I'm doing something. I'm the narrator. We didn't want to lose the ground we gained with the trapping and stuff, so we got the TWRA down there, and they were like, oh, God, yeah. So they got some special permits to eradicate some hogs and do some stuff, and but that poor land, and it's in such a healthy, what should be a healthy area, but the predator-prey balance is so out of whack, and there's no birds. Well, you can sit down there and hear a couple every now and again now, but it was just so still and eerie and dead the first couple times I was there when David was looking at it to see if he wanted to trap it, and I was like, this land is dead. And the farmer is just ecstatic. Well, you've seen the coyotes and stuff on his Trapper Day videos that's come off there. And that big old bobcat last week that David got off there, oh my gosh, that thing was a tank. That was a tank. Did you see how big that thing was? Now, I know people normally aren't scared of bobcats, but when I say bobcats can be a little bit worrisome, that's why. They get goddamn big around here. Did you have to move the goats? It was bad. And I was sick during it all, or I'd have been checking on everybody. I was sick. And the stomach bug finally got to me. And I think it was when I had to go in and have my blood work done and have my ear checked. I think I probably got it from the doctor's office. I have avoided everything because all I do during the winter is sit and hide from winter. I don't go out. No, we don't try to, harm my body. I'm just back and forth down the mountain on the farm up here. That's all I do. And I avoid everybody and everything. But it finally got me. And it got me good. You snapped a compound. Well, they can get, if you have one long enough, especially some of them, they're made of the different fiber blends that they had back in the day. I just had normal old bear compound bear bow that I hunted with for years. My brother was the big time hunter. I got the refuse or whatever he didn't want that I could take. Cause my brother's a big time hunter. He goes up to Canada and deer hunts and bear hunts. And I'm like, why? They're in your backyard. Just go during bear season here. Well, matter of fact, David's bear that he got this bear season here was bigger than the bear that my brother got in Canada. Didn't have to pay for it either. But my brother, he's hunted everything and done everything here, so he likes to get out and prowl and hunt everything else. Good for him, I guess. I'm not prowling. I don't prowl. I don't travel well. Oh gosh, Leva Cats, I wish you could too. I learned that in winter, if I try to do anything, if I get any of the big illnesses afloat in winter, I end up in the hospital. So I learned a couple of winters ago, don't, because I would always end up in the hospital at the end of winter where I was still trying to function like a normal person and my body's not normal. And so I finally was like, no, I call it herminating because my daughter coined that term a long time ago after hermit crabs that hibernate. She said they're herminating. So I herminate all winter and I have to be very careful who I come in contact with. And it's just because my immune system's crap and my body is not right. It's wired wrong. And but I've done okay till this tummy bug. But literally the entire county, the schools are going to let out for a few days. They've taken the winter weather and extending it for however many, what do they call it? Internet days they could have. They're doing that to try to let the sickness calm down around here. And it's because it lasts 4 to 6 days when you get it. And so they were being told, send your kid back to school. They're not sick anymore. Excuse me, principal. I think I know if my kid's sick or not. But like there's like so many parents getting truancy notes. Well, I'm sorry, you can't take your child for 5 days to the doctor to get a doctor slip for 5 days, and the doctor doesn't know how long it's going to last, but it's been lasting 4 to 6 for most people. Have a heart, truancy court. Y'all are a bunch of buttholes. I say that as a retired parole officer. Y'all are buttholes. These kids that have the stomach bug right now, these parents, listen, just call and check. And if they said, yeah, we've had that freaking stomach bug, okay. If you got some hackles being raised or some red flags, then, send somebody out to do a well check. But stop irritating these parents. But it took me about a week, and I'm still trying to get over it. But what happened was when I got the stomach bug, and then my stupid disorder kicked in and swelled. So it's not been pleasant. I have been in not a good place the last few days, but I'm doing much better. I finally had the strength yesterday to get up and shower and felt like a person after that. And I ate some. I've not ate very much today, but I feel a lot better. I don't look sick out of my eyes anymore, so I know I'm on the mend. Still running a tiny little bit of fever, but it's where I'm so swollen. So I expect that will fade on out over the next few days. This was a booger of a tummy bug. It was not pleasant. And you'd think you were over it and it would just hit you again. I have never watched the Squid Games. I've heard people talk about it, and then I've heard people kind of go, oh my God, and say horrible things about it, but I've never watched them. I don't even have Netflix. Is that where it's on? I don't even have Netflix. If it's on Netflix, I don't have Netflix. I have Prime Video only because I send my daughter stuff for the kids through Amazon, so it has Prime Video, but I don't have Netflix. Yeah, I think that's why my swelling is not going away, is the weather coming in. It's kind of prolonged everything, so I'm kind of like in stasis swell. But the snow looks like it's heading into, the precipitation, whether it's reaching the ground or not, looks like it's edging into Nashville. We won't know how big the storm's going to be until it joins the moisture later tonight for us. So it's going to run into another storm, and then they say it's going to blow up. I'm just waiting to see if that happens. But they're anticipating about 5 to 6 inches of snow here. I'm so over snow. So over snow. I'm over tending the wood stove. I'm over it all. I'm over it all. I'm ready for spring. I got my seeds out the other day and was going through and mentally prepping. I gave Mom some, just trying to get ready, just to think of something nice and warm and enjoyable, because my candles on my timer went out. But yeah, I am over winter. So over winter. Ow, my arms are too short. Where's my remotes? I've got 50,000 remotes. Huh. For everything. There, that gives a little more light. I know, God, this winter has been like a test. Like, I don't remember moving to British Columbia, but the lady that watches me lives in British Columbia. We've been colder than her most of the time. And I'm like, my brain does not compute this. I don't like it. You can sprinkle some flour or cornstarch. I'm sorry, if you didn't see the thing, they wanted to know how they can make the juice in their dumpling sticker. Just jump to a whole new page in your brain, Elizabeth. 50,000 tabs open at all times. Yeah, if you need to thicken up your broth, your soup, you can put some cornstarch or flour in there. You can put a little bit of heavy whipping cream. It'll give it more flavor. And it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot at all. Act like you're going to make a really poor gravy and it'll thicken right up on you. Hi, Mickey. I did pack another Bobcat for Dave. A guy bought it, and he was fixing to walk out the door, and I was like, I'll do it. So I've got a Bobcat packed. He's going to try to melt it in the morning if he can beat the most of the snow. And a guy sent a question about the smaller one with the feet in. That sounded so bad. The smaller cape that has the feet in it. A guy asked questions and wanted pictures about that one, so he took care of that. So I'm waiting to see if maybe he'll jump on that one. It would be nice. It would be lovely, because this winter's been lean, and my dryers. I don't have to pay until the guy brings the piece and puts it in Friday or Saturday. But I have to have a dryer because it's so damp here. All winter's been so damp. Nothing will dry on my line. And I have limited space around my stove because I don't have. But I'm gonna remedy that real soon. But yeah, it's looked like my house has vomited laundry up every time I've had to do a little load. I just have to strategically hang it over heat vents or next to the stove if I've got something to position it. And I can't stand it because I like everything in its place. And it bothers me. That's the Libby Cats. If you can cook the chicken and then use the broth that you cook your chicken in, that's the healthiest thing to do. And let it cook. And what I do is I let it cook. I go ahead and cook my dumplings in the thinner water, and then I start thickening up. I thicken it at the very end, and I do a little bit extra seasoning then too. The little bird that I just crock potted today did the same thing. You want to cook it bone in the water, in the broth, so that you get all the added bonuses of that. Like if I have a whole chicken, we'll see that chicken 3 times in the week, because if I cook it and I don't need all the broth that's in there, I'll put that broth in the fridge and then I'll use it for something else later in the week. Or I'll pull meat and leave half of the meat in there and use, and so David would be like, I've saw this chicken 3 times, and I'm like, I'm sorry. It's how we eat. See, we got people in the comment section, cornstarch. So you can do cornstarch, you can do flour. You just gotta be careful you make your dumpling stick.